السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام الأتمان الأكملان على خير خلق الله أجمعين وعلى آله وأصحابه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما تنفعنا به يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما مباركا ميمونا، ولا تجعل فينا ولا منا ولا معنا شقيا ولا محروما، اللهم آمين آمين. أما بعد، فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم تر إلى الذين بدلوا نعمة الله كفرا وأحلوا قومهم دار البوير جهنم يصلونها وبئس القرار وجعلوا لله أندادا ليضلوا عن سبيله قل تمتعوا فإن مصيركم إلى النير قل لعبادي الذين آمنوا يقيموا الصلاة وينفقوا مما رزقناهم سرا وعلانية من قبل أن يأتي يوم لا بيع فيه ولا خلال. الله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض وأنزل من السماء ماء فأخرج به من الثمرات رزقا لكم وسخر لكم البحر لتجري في البحر بأمره وسخر لكم الفلك لتجري في البحر بأمره وسخر لكم الأنهار وسخر لكم الشمس والقمر دائبين وسخر لكم الليل والنهار وآتاكم من كل ما سألتموه وإن تعدوا نعمة الله لا تحصوها إن الإنسان لظلوم كفار. وإذ قال إبراهيم رب اجعل هذا البلد آمنا واجنبني وبني أن نعبد الأصنام رب إنهن أضللن كثيرا من الناس فمن تبعني فإنه مني ومن عصاني فإنك غفور رحيم. ربنا إني أسكنت من ذريتي بواد غير ذي زرع عند بيتك المحرم ربنا ليقيموا الصلاة فاجعل أفئدة من الناس تهوي إليهم وارزقهم من الثمرات لعلهم يشكرون. ربنا إنك تعلم ما نخفي وما نعلن وما يخفى على الله من شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء. الحمد لله الذي وهب لي على الكبر إسماعيل وإسحاق إن ربي لسميع الدعاء. رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. ولا تحسبن الله غافلا عما يعمل الظالمون إنما يؤخرهم ليوم تشخص فيه الأبصار مهطعين مقنعي رؤوسهم لا يرتد إليهم طرفهم وأفئدتهم هواء وأنذر الناس يوم يأتيهم العذاب فيقول الذين ظلموا ربنا أخرنا إلى أجل قريب نجب دعوتك ونتبع الرسل أولم تكونوا أقسمتم من قبل ما لكم من زوال وسكنتم في مساكن الذين ظلموا أنفسهم وتبين لكم كيف فعلنا بهم وضربنا لكم الأمثال وقد مكروا مكرهم وعند الله مكرهم وإن كان مكرهم لتزول منه الجبال فلا تحسبن الله مخلف وعده رسله إن الله عزيز ذو انتقام يوم تبدل الأرض غير الأرض والسماوات وبرزوا لله الواحد القهار وترى المجرمين يومئذ مقرنين في الأصفاد سرابيلهم من قطران وتغشى وجوههم النار ليجزي الله كل نفس ما كسبت إن الله سريع الحساب هذا بلاغ للناس ولينذروا به وليعلموا أنما هو إله واحد وليذكر أولو الألباب.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا. The verses that were recited upon you all were from the concluding verses or ayat of Surah Ibrahim alayhi salam. And the last ayah that we read from this surah is the topic of the lecture. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, هذا بلاغ للناس ولينذروا به وليعلموا أنما هو إله واحد وليذكر أولو الألباب. This Quran has come to explain and to be a balagh in detail, to explain in great detail that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the only deity, subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلِيَذَّكَّرَ, and for this message to be understood and perceived by those who have sound understanding. Those who have sound understanding will perceive this. And those who don't have sound understanding will not be able to perceive this. If one understands the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his servitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will change. He will feel that he is the closest person to Allah, and he will no longer feel distant from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how do we instill the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our hearts? We read His Quran, and we see that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said about Himself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَمَا قَدَرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ, and they didn't give Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala His due right. وَالْأَرْضُ جَمِيعًا قَبْضَتُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ, whilst the entire earth will be in Allah's grasp on the day of judgment. وَالسَّمَاوَاتُ مَطْوِيَّاتٌ بِيَمِينِهِ, and the skies will be rolled up and it will be in the right hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yushrikun. Glory be to Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be exalted and may He be raised far above that which they say about him and the claims they make about him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in the Quran who He is. And for you to be a slave that acknowledges this, you also need to know who you are. And this is taken from the statement of Allah in the Hadith Qudsi, where the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said that Allah Jalla wa ala, He said, Ya ibadi, O my slaves, O my worshippers, kullukum dhalun. All of you are misguided, and all of you are deviated, and all of you are lost. He is your creator, so He can say about you what He likes, subhanahu wa ta'ala. The man on the right and the man on the left cannot say such claims to you. And because of your ego, and because of who you are and your pride, and you being a man yourself, you will not accept that from any man. For him to come to you and to say that you are a lost individual. But because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created you and He brought you into existence in the first place, He can say as He pleases subhanahu wa ta'ala. So He said, all of you are lost, all of you are misguided, all of you are deviated except those who I have guided subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of you are hungry, all of you have no provisions, all of you are poor, all of you are in need, except for those who I subhanahu wa ta'ala have blessed with provisions. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created you, Ya Bani Adam, فَأَنْتَ miskeen, you are miskeen. And a miskeen here, it doesn't mean a person who doesn't have any money in his pocket. Nor does it mean a person who doesn't have any money in their bank account. A miskeen is the one who is in need. Ya ayyuhan nas, O man, أنتم الفقراء إلى الله. You are all fuqara to Allah. A person who understands Arabic may say, I'm not a faqir, I'm a ghani. I have money. I have money. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking about a different type of faqr. For you to go to sleep at night, this is a type of faqr. Nobody can put you to sleep except for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The doctors cannot do so. The hospitals cannot do so. Anything they give you to support you to sleep, it is nothing but drugs. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He puts you to sleep without any drugs, without any troops. He subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is ghaniyun 'anil 'alamin. He doesn't need anybody subhanahu wa ta'ala. A type of faqr that Allah is referring to is that although you have money in your pocket, money in your bank account, after a few hours you are a human being, you feel hungry. This is a type of faqr. You are in need now. If you didn't have this need, if you didn't be a person, if you was not a person who was attributed with this faqr, then you would not need food. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He doesn't eat, He doesn't drink, He doesn't sleep subhanahu wa ta'ala. The hadith has come in Sahih Muslim, Inna Allah ta'ala la yanam. Allah the Most High, He doesn't sleep. وَلَا يَنْبَغِي لَهُ أَن يَنَامَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not befitting for Him to sleep. بِيَدِهِ الْمِيزَانِ. With Allah is the scale. يُرْفَعُ إِلَيْهِ عَمَلُ اللَّيْلِ قَبْلَ عَمَلِ النَّهَارِ وَعَمَلُ النَّهَارِ قَبْلَ عَمَلِ اللَّيْلِ. The actions of the night reach Him by day, and the actions of the day reach Him by night. Hijabuhu nur, His hijab, His veil is made out of light, subhanahu wa ta'ala. لو كشفه, if He reveals it and you see His face, لأحرقت سبحات وجهه ما انتهى إليه بصره من خلقه. أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala were to reveal this veil that is covering His beautiful face, it will set afire everything that comes into contact with it. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And who are you? You came to the world yesterday and you came between the male and the female discharge. That's all you are. And tomorrow you are going back into the ground. You came from there and you are going back there. Have you ever seen anybody who died and went to the sky? Because now Allah wants to show you that you are in need. So we are going to put you into the ground, not just the ground here, deep into the ground. We are going to put mud on top of your body. We are going to put sticks and stones on top of your body. And everybody is going to leave you there. لأنك أنت فقير. You are faqir. And you have a Lord who is عظيم subhanahu wa ta'ala. وسوف تلتقي به, and you will meet this Lord. يوم القيامة, you will stand before Him. حفاة لا نعال لك, barefoot with no shoes. عراة لا ثياب لك, naked with no clothes. غرلا غير مختونين, uncircumcised. The same way you came out of the stomach of your mother, you will come back to Allah like this. لأنك أنت فقير, you are faqir. Whether you or mom or your father or your brother or your sister or your husband or your wife or your children, they had these different types of professions or these different types of assets, businesses, wealth, whoever they may be, all of you Yawm al-Qiyamah will be like this. You will meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, an angel will take you, fly with you, and He will throw you into the nur of the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The angel will then leave you, and then you will meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask you 4 questions before you move from your place. You will try to move to your right, to your left, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will glue you to the place that you are. You won't be able to move. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will begin asking you every single thing that you acted by in the dunya, every single thing that you said, every single thing that you lived by. He will ask you subhanahu wa ta'ala. And before all of this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cause the angels to interrogate you in your grave. You will be sent into your grave and the angels will come. Man rabbuka, who is your Lord? Man nabiyuka, or man hada rajul alladhi bu'itha fiikum? وَمَا دِينُكَ? Who is your Lord? Who is your Prophet? And what is your religion? These are not questions that you can now just answer as if you are going to university or exam paper. You say Allah and Muhammad and Islam. If you lived by it, you will be given tawfiq. And if you didn't live by it, you will not be given tawfiq. And like some of the reports they mentioned, some people they will just say, la adri. La adri. I don't know the answer. I know that it's Allah. I want to say that, but I didn't live by that. I know the answer is Muhammad. I want to say that, but I didn't live by that. I know the answer is Islam. I do want to say this, but I didn't live by this. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will deprive me from that. So you didn't live with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the dunya, you don't live with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the qabr, and you don't live with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the akhirah. إِنَّ الْأَبْرَارَ لَفِي نَعِيمٍ وَإِنَّ الْفُجَّارَ لَفِي جَحِيمٍ. Indeed, the abrar, the righteous people, they will be in na'im, bliss. And the fujjar, the evil people, the wrongdoers, they will be in torment. And Imam Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, he says in all 3 stages, in the dunya, in the barzakh, and in the akhirah. If you are a person who lived by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's commandments, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's prohibitions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yuniru laka fi dunyak. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will enlighten your dunya for you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you a good dunya. What is a good dunya? A good dunya is that you feel good within your heart, you feel contentment, you feel happiness. How can it be that a person, he has everything? He has a family, he has a job, he has a career, he has a home, he has a vehicle, he has wealth, he has everything, but he feels sad, he feels upset, he doesn't feel content. It is because he is missing the greatest ni'mah, which is al-iman. He doesn't know who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. There is no ma'rifah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You cannot buy contentment from the supermarket. You cannot get it from the university. You cannot find it in a country like this one or other than this one. It is only found with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It trickles down from the skies and it enters into the hearts of the believers. Those who submit to Allah, though. If you submit, that's what Islam means, submission to Allah. For you to let go of everything and your ego and you and everything that is with you and all of the possessions that are with you, and you submit to Allah. You do as He says and you leave what He says that you should leave. And if you do this, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant you everything you want. Not just the akhirah, but He will grant you a dunya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says that we will give them an overflow of provisions if only they will just submit to us. So who here is lacking an overflow of provisions? Every single person who doesn't submit to Allah. A person who has this now in the world, he will be considered to be an arrogant person. A person who has all of this status. Because he's a human being, because he has status now that he lifts himself above others, we will consider this person to be prideful. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's not prideful. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He doesn't oppress His slaves. And your Lord is not one that oppresses His slaves, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done for you is only in your best interest. Look at how He has created you now. Look at how He has fashioned you and perfected your fashioning. خَلَقَكُمْ وَصَوَّرَكُمْ فَأَحْسَنَ صُوَرَكُمْ. He created you and He fashioned you and He perfected your fashioning. There's nobody here as far as I can see in this room that has one eye. I can't see anything. I can't see anybody here that has one leg. I can't. There are people like that exist. But look at the people that are sitting before us now. Every single person has 2 eyes. Every single person has 2 ears. Every single person has 2 hands. Every single person has 2 hearts. No. Every single person has 2 legs and 2 feet. But you have 1 heart. Liman, why did He give you 1 heart? So your heart is not distracted with other than Him, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your heart is for Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Did you ever think about it like that? Your heart is only 1. Everything else is 2. Even the nose is 1, but the nostrils are 2. Everything is 2. Everything. إِلَّا قَلْبُكَ. لأن قلبك is the main part of your body. The Prophet ﷺ, he said that this heart, if it's sound, the rest of the body is sound. If this heart is corrupt, everything about you is corrupt and you are no good. So the heart has to be one. الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. Indeed, those who have believed and their hearts have found tranquility. Indeed, tranquility is found within the remembrance of Allah. This is where it is found. So a person who doesn't read Quran, a person who doesn't make dhikr of Allah, a person who doesn't make istighfar to Allah, a person who doesn't pray salah, a person who doesn't have any time with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is a wretched individual. He is a lost individual. He is a miskin, unfortunate individual. We are living in very tough times. Every single person here, صغيرا كان أو كبيرا, young or old, رجلا كان أو امرأة, male or female, you must know and you must have i'tiqad and belief that which has elapsed from your life is a lot more than that which is left. Your meeting with Allah is fast approaching. It would have been good and it would have been fine if we could avoid this meeting. If we could avoid this meeting, don't worship Allah. Because you're going to avoid the meeting anyway. Nobody's going to hold you to account. But the fact that this day, it is a day of truth, and you are going to be there, and you're going to be there alone. Ya ayyuhan nas, oh man, ittaqu rabbakum fi your Lord. واخشوا يوما, and fear the day, لا يجزي والد عن ولده. A father cannot help his son. ولا مولود هو جاز عن والده شيئا. And a son, a child cannot help their father. The two most beloved people to each other in the dunya. A parent and a child. The parent cannot help their child. Today, you will not find any parent, mother, father, Muslim or غير Muslim, even if it's an animal. You see the animals looking after their children. Any parent from any creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves their child. But on the day of judgment, every single parent will flee from their child. Every single child will flee from their parents. In fact, in one of the tafasir, it mentions that a child will meet his father Yawm al-Qiyamah. And the child, when he meets his father will say, do you recognize me? And then the son will say, yes, I recognize you. You are my father. And so the father will say, didn't I not raise you? Alam urabbik. He will say, Bala, yes, you raised me. Alam unfiq alayk. Didn't I not provide for you? He will say, Bala, yes, you provided for me. He will mention other things. I did this for you as your father. I did this. He will say, yes, you did all of this. He acknowledges. So the father, he says, I don't ask for anything back today except one good deed. The fact that I am your father, I raised you, I looked after you, I fed you, I sheltered you, I did all of these things as your father. Give me one good deed today. That could be the conversation we have with our fathers. Every time we hear the Quran and the Ahadith, are we always going to stick it on somebody else? Why can it not be us for a second? A moment, we don't think like that. It could be you. This hadith, this tafsir could actually be you and nobody else. The son will say, yes, you are my father, and yes, you did all of that for me, but I can't give you a good deed because I need my own good deeds to enter into paradise. It doesn't matter if you're my father. This is a different day now. It is Yawm al-Qiyamah. I need my own good deeds to enter. So I'm going to put you into Jannah, oh my father, and put myself into hellfire? No. Surah Ma'arij mentions this. Surah al-Ma'arij. يبصرونه يود المجرم لو يفتدي من عذاب يومئذ ببنيه وصاحبته وأخيه وفصيلته التي تؤويه ومن في الأرض جميعا ثم ينجيه. He wishes for his father, his mother, his son, his daughter, his spouse to all enter into the fire, and then he says, وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. I want everybody to enter into the hellfire so I can be saved. Everybody, including Muhammad alayhi sallam. I would rather see the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and all of the prophets that Allah sent out to the people to be in the fire so I can be in. This is not a speaker speaking to you. It's not an imam. It is Allah Rabbul Alameen. If somebody comes as a speaker, take everything with a pinch of salt. Take everything with a pinch of salt. Maybe he's emotional, maybe he's overreacting, maybe he's adding his own things, But a person reading you an ayah, like pick up the Quran now, the same ayah is the same ayah. So Allah said this, a person, the sooner and the faster they realize this is truth, the smoother their journey will be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And know that if you are going to have a good akhirah, you have to have a good dunya first. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He made the two worlds in connection. They are in sync. And if you are going to have a bad akhirah, you will have a bad dunya first. Someone may say, well, we see people who do not believe in Allah, or do not worship Allah. They seem like they have good dunyas. Good dunyas, plural with the S. Good dunyas. But you are saying they're not going to have good akhirah. I see that they have a lot of wealth, and I see that they are sitting on thrones, and I see that they have this, and I see that they have that. I see that they're not being buried for a number of weeks now. People are visiting them even though they're dead. I see all of this. Is that what you think a good dunya is? The question is flipped back to you. Miskeen. This is what you thought was a good dunya. Food and drink and wealth and money. That's good dunya to you. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadur Rasulullah. The most precious thing you have is your iman and your Islam. And if you prefer something over that, فَأُفٍ وَتُفٍ وَجَوْرَبٍ وَخُفٍ. Unfortunate is your case, Ya Muslim, or Ya Muslimah, that you see the worldly things that you're going to leave tomorrow. Tomorrow you're going to leave it. Alhamdulillah, if it come with you to your grave, then keep it with you. You can pack your bags as if you're going on a holiday and take your stuff with you from the dunya. All of my money, and all of my cars, and all of my keys, take it with you, alhamdulillah. But because you're leaving it, how do you see this to be the best thing? Where's the aql? That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He actually describes the aql, the intellect, to not be here in your head. He describes it to be here in your heart. أَفَلَمْ يَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَتَكُونَ لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ يَعْقِلُونَ بِهَا أَوْ آذَانٌ يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا فإنها لا تعمى الأبصار ولكن تعمى القلوب التي في الصدور. Have they not traveled the earth of Allah? فتكون لهم, so it can be for them, قلوب, hearts, يعقلون بها, that they have عقل with, hearts that they have عقل with, hearts that they have intellect with. So your intellect is not here, your intellect is meant to be here. فإنها لا تعمى الأبصار ولكن تعمى القلوب التي في الصدور. Indeed, Allah says it's not the hearts that have become blind, it's the hearts. Who from amongst us cries in Salah? Who from amongst us now cries in Qiyam al-Layl? Who from amongst us now is moved when they hear the Quran being recited? Illa qaleen, only a little bit, right? Question your food, question your drink, question your intentions, question your actions, question your job, question everything. Because if you don't question yourself, Allah will question you. That's the word. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, nobody can question me for what I do. You are the ones that are going to be questioned. لا يسأل عما يفعل وهم يسألون. Nobody can ask Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is great. And this is why we glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the day and in the night. And if a person has all of these shortcomings and he didn't understand the reality of Allah, only one tawbah and one lifting of your hands will bring you to be the closest person to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It will make you the closest person to Him. All of your bad deeds will be erased and wiped out, and Allah will replace it with good deeds. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will admit you into paradise. Allah says in the Quran that we are the greatest nation ever set out to the people because we enjoy the good, we forbid the evil, and we believe in Allah. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله ولو آمن أهل الكتاب لكان خيرا لهم منهم المؤمنون وأكثرهم الفاسقون. Living in difficult times as we live in now, you see a person doing anything with their religion, anything that they please. The Prophet ﷺ said, "المتمسك بدينه يومئذ كالقابض على الجمر." The one who's going to hold on to his religion during the difficult times, the end of times. And he said this alayhi salatu wasalam 1400 years ago. He will be like the person who's holding on to hot coal. Either you let it burn you for a bit of time, because that's burning, it is only going to raise your rank and purify you. Or you let go. But if you let go, you are going to fall into more heat and a bigger pit of fire. So you hold on to this heat, so you can avoid the heat of the afterlife. That's what the hadith means. Hold on to this heat now and hold on to this difficulty now and be a patient person. The scholars of Islam, they say, this iman that Allah bless you with, it is half sabr, half shukr. Half of it, this is from the Sahaba, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Nisfuhu sabrun wa nisfuhu shukr. Half of it is patience and half of it is gratitude. And some of the scholars like Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, he says, iman is all patience. If you're not going to be patient, you are not going to make it. You have to be patient. Worshipping Allah requires patience. Staying away from that which your heart wants and desires from evil things requires patience. For you to tame and control your heart. For you to have patience upon calamity. Somebody has passed away, somebody has lost their job, somebody has going through a difficulty. You have to be patient. And if you are, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant you something which is better. Nobody leaves something for the sake of Allah except Allah grants you that which is better. Make for yourself before you meet Allah a paradise, a Jannah. It's possible that you can enter into a Jannah now in the dunya. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, he says, إِنَّ فِي الدُّنْيَا جَنَّةً مَنْ لَمْ يَدْخُلْهَا لَمْ يَدْخُلْ جَنَّةَ الْآخِرَةِ. Indeed, in the dunya there is a paradise. Whoever doesn't enter into the paradise in the dunya, he will not enter into the paradise of the hereafter. That shows you, I just said, that the two worlds are connected. Do you feel that you're in a paradise now? Do you sense that you're in a paradise now? If you don't, then you need to work towards it. If you do, then you need to increase upon the path that you are on. And do not be complacent, because the shaitan is behind every single person's back, wishing and willing to misguide him at any given moment. And the shaitan will never give up, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised in the Quran that this is what he's going to do. ثم لآتينهم من بين أيديهم ومن خلفهم وعن أيمانهم وعن شمائلهم ولا تجد أكثرهم شاكرين. I'm going to approach them from the front and the behind, and from the right and from the left, and you will not find the majority of your worshippers to be grateful to you, Ya Allah. You will not find them to be grateful because you created them. Perhaps none of them have ever said, Alhamdulillah, Allah created me. Perhaps they never said, Alhamdulillah, Allah made me Muslim. Alhamdulillah, He made my parents Muslims as well. Alhamdulillah, Allah brought me to His house, now I'm hearing this from Him. Alhamdulillah, despite all of my shortcomings and the evil and the wrong that I do, He hasn't taken away from me my blessings. He hasn't sent down from the sky a punishment. He hasn't caused the earth to swallow me whole. He subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives you a lot of respite. فَمَهِّلِ الْكَافِرِينَ أَمْهِلْهُمْ رُوَيْدًا. But do not think that the silence of Allah and Allah giving you respite means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't know what is going on. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives you time. But if you breathe your last, you have no more time. If you breathe your last, you have no more time. The only thing that can save every single one of us is our good deeds. So before we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let us ensure that we have our bags packed. It's like we pack for our holidays, and we ensure that we have all of the clothing and the accessories, all of the needs of ours packed and taken care of. Let us ensure that our spiritual bags are packed. Because if your spiritual bags are packed, when the angel of death comes, alhamdulillah, you will say to him, MashaAllah, you came finally, I was waiting. I thought that you were going to take a long time, but I've had enough of the grief of the dunya. I'm happy that you are here now. I'll ask you all a question. We're now in the dunya. We are going to the akhirah. We came from another world as well. And some of the scholars have mentioned there are 5 awalim. There are 5 worlds. So let's just speak about one of them that we came from. It is Alam al-Butun al-Ummahat, the world of the womb of the mothers. Every single person here came from the womb of the mother, right? Correct? Anybody came from anywhere else, inshallah? We all came from the womb of our mothers, right? Okay, question. Because I didn't make this lecture interactive, so we're going to do it now at the end. Who here will be happy to go back to the womb of his mother? Say, Wallahi, the dunya is a bit stressful. It's a bit stressful. Wallahi, every day waking up, going to sleep, and then putting on the weight, taking the weight off, going to the gym, it's coming back again, getting the job, losing the job. That's mushkila. If I go back to the womb of my mother, at least my mother can take care of it. I don't need to pay any bills. I don't need to go on the train or the bus and go to work or study. No, I don't need to do anything. If you had that opportunity to do so, firstly, I don't think you take it. There's a lot of us, mashallah, we're bigger than our mothers now. There's no even any way to get in. We are stronger and bigger than our mothers. But you will not go back because you are now living in a place which is better than that place. Correct. The dunya, compared to the stomach of the mother, the dunya is better for you. You don't worship Allah in the stomach of your mother. Just like none of you will accept to go back to the stomach of your mother, when you go to the akhirah and you meet Allah and you see the real life and the pure life, the life that Allah is inviting all of us to, and you see Jannah when you enter into Jannah. Aqula will call out, Ya Ahla Jannati, O people of Jannah, Inna lakum an tahyu fala tamutu abada. You will live forever and you will never die. Every single person has died in the dunya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment, when He shows that every single person has died, He will bring the angel of death. You're the last one. Because the angel of death, his task is to take everybody's lives. So he has to ensure that he's the last person, take everybody's life, take everybody's life. When he's the only one living, Allah will take his life too. Because only Allah can be ever living. The angel of life has also, the angel of death has also died. So the caller will call out, O people of Jannah, you are going to live forever and ever, and you are never going to die. He's then going to say, O people of Jannah, you are going to be young forever, and you are never going to age. Because if you are going to live forever, but you are going to become old, you will not enjoy your life. So you have to remain young. Right now, we have fathers, uncles, grandparents, we have people of different ages, right? There's not two people here perhaps that are born on the same day, same month, same year. Maybe similar, but not the same. But Yawm al-Qiyamah, everybody will be the same. Every single person in this room, may Allah grant us Jannatul Firdaus, we will all be the same age, with our parents, with the scholars, with the Sahaba, with the Anbiya, we will all be the same age, 33. So you can enjoy paradise to the fullest, because you have patience when you're in the dunya. The third glad tidings will be given is that you are going to be a person who is always healthy. You're not going to have a headache, you're not going to have a stomach ache, you're not going to have food poisoning, no one's going to fall down a staircase, subhanAllah, nobody's going to be run down by nothing. There's no corona, there's nothing like this at all. There are no doctors, there are no hospitals. If you are a doctor and you go to paradise, you'll not have a job, nobody's going to hire you. Where are you going to work? Who are you going to cure? Nobody's going to give you a job. If you're a doctor now, remember that when you die, that is it. You and your job, you have died together. That's the reality. If you are an engineer, the same thing. Allah doesn't need you to build the houses of paradise. There are angels that build the houses of paradise. And the houses of paradise are different. I mentioned in a lecture that I did here, in fact, before. This building has sanctity because it is the house of Allah. But what is the building made up of? Bricks, water, cement. What are the buildings of Jannah made up of? They are made up of lu'lu' wal yaqut. They are made up of pearls and gold. And that which brings the pearl and gold together is not cement. It is miskul anfar. It is musk. That is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made the houses of paradise. That's what Allah wants from you now. Do not be a worldly person so you can be there. That's what Allah wants from you. So after hearing the whole lecture now, this is how the scholars, they advise the lecture should be. You hear everything else, strong reminder. But then you're like, wow, that's the reason. Okay, I need to all work for children. That's what you need to do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to be there. When you are over there, Allah says, beneath your homes that are like this, beneath your homes, rivers are flowing, rivers of honey and rivers of wine and rivers of milk and rivers of water. You will drink from it and never will you feel thirsty ever again. Now what is running under your house? Sewage systems, dirt. What you go in the toilet with comes under your house. Is that sharaf? Is that honor for you? No, because the dunya is not a place of sharaf. Right now, if you were told that you are going to be given the most expensive house, just listen to what I'm saying, the most expensive house in the world, you're going to be given it. Whether it is the White House or whether it is Buckingham Palace, or whatever it may be, the most expensive house, valuable house, it is yours, take the key, you can take it for free. But there's one condition. This house, you don't have a toilet facility. Would you take it? Who here would take that? I'm very interested to know. If you were to say, I'll take it, it's worth it. Although there's not a toilet facility, the stakes are very high, I'll still take it anyway. If you would, let us discuss it. Who would take it? The most expensive house now. The most expensive. There's no house better than it in the dunya. Would you take it? You won't. Because you have a wife, you have a mother, you have children. Are you always going to go to the neighbors every day? We need a shower. Oh, we're back, we need another shower. Oh, we need this. No, you can't. And you're not allowed to build a house without the toilet. You're not allowed to build a toilet in the garden. You can't do anything like that. What's the point of this example? You may be thinking, why is he saying that? The point is, if the most expensive and valuable house in the world is rejected on basis of a toilet, that means all of a sudden its worth has become the toilet. Because you left it for that reason. Remember, it was free. But you said, if I said to you, it doesn't have one living room, you say, I'm still thinking, I can make one, I can make a bedroom, I can put a sofa somewhere else, you can fix things. So not living, I take it. The kitchen's a bit small, I'll take it as well. No garden, I have to go to the park and shop. No toilet. You say, no, khalas, the value has become a toilet. So the dunya, this is the point, the dunya, the value of the houses is through the toilet. Paradise, the value of the house is through the toilet as well, but the opposite. There are no toilets there. So if a toilet facility was to be put into a house in paradise, it will lose its value. And if a toilet facility was to be taken out of the worldly houses, it will lose its value. Look at that. Allahu Akbar. If the houses of paradise were to be given a toilet facility, it will not be paradise anymore. But if the worldly houses were to lose the toilet facility, it would lose its value as well. These are the two worlds, they're trying to compete together. One of our mashayikh, he was in the Emirates, Dubai. He was going past one of the most beautiful hotels in Jumeirah Beach. He was going past it. And the brother said to him in the car, he said, Sheikh, look at this house, look at this hotel. It's very beautiful, mashallah, it looks really nice. So he said something like similar to what I said. He looked at it and he said, actually, this building has a lot of toilets. So they're thinking, like, Sheikh, couldn't you not have said anything else? Like, toilets? Like, what are you talking about toilets for? So he said, I just want to just bring something to your attention. He said, this hotel is trying to compete with the palaces of paradise. So the palaces of paradise have no toilets. This one is a hotel. Therefore, every single room must have a toilet because of the guests that are staying there. If it's a suite, it may have more than one toilet. And he said, this is the dunya for you, that's it. This is the sharaf. He said, would you take your guest? A guest came around to your house. I should say in the toilet, I'll bring you tea. No, you won't. But it's not musharrif. It's not something that has honor. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying over there, you eat food. The hadith. يأكلون ويشربون ولا يبولون ولا يمتخطون ولا يتخوطون. رواه Muslim رحمه الله. They will eat, they will drink, and they are not going to have any type of releasing. They're not going to go to the toilet, they're not going to have any phlegm, they're not going to have any of this. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said this is the third quality. He said the fourth quality is that you will enter into paradise and you will live in na'im and bliss. And you will never be a person who is wretched. Anything that you want, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant it to you. You make any wish, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will deliver it to you. You want anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't give you in the dunya, Allah will give it to you right away. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tests the believers in the way He wishes subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. Whoever wants to believe, he can believe. And whoever wants to disbelieve, he can disbelieve. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said in the Quran al-Kareem, اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى اللهم إنا نسألك أن تكسنا بنا حلول الإيمان في الدنيا وحلل الإيمان في الآخرة يا رب العالمين اللهم إنا نسألك أن تغفر لنا وترحمنا يا رب العالمين وإذا أردت بقوم فاقبضنا غير مفتونين يا رب العالمين رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين اللهم إنا نسألك أن تجعل جمعنا هذا يا رب العالمين جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما مباركا ميمونا ولا تجعل فينا ولا منا ولا معنا شقيا ولا محروما اللهم إنا نسألك أن تغفر لنا وللمسلمين يا رب العالمين اللهم اغفر لوالدينا وأصلح لنا في ذرياتنا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم واهدنا ووفقنا بالحق وإلى طريق المستقيم وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا